Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wanted to do something big for God? Maybe start a ministry, plant a church, launch a business, or chase a dream you felt was from Him? But what if, after all your planning and passion, God said no? Today, I want to talk about a man who wanted to build something incredible for God, but discovered that God was actually building something incredible in him. King David had a powerful desire burning in his heart. In 1 Chronicles 22, he says, "It was in my mind to build a house unto the name of the Lord my God." Think about this. David was the king. He was living in a beautiful palace made of cedar, while the Ark of God, the very symbol of God's presence, was still dwelling in a simple tent. That just didn't sit right with him. He felt that God deserved a better house than he had. Now, this wasn't a selfish dream. This wasn't about making David's name great. You can compare this with the people who built the Tower of Babel. Their motive was, let us make us a name. But David's heart was pure. He wanted to make God's name great. So he goes to Nathan the prophet and shares this amazing vision. And Nathan, hearing the sincerity in David's voice, says, "Go, do all that is in your heart, for the Lord is with you." Can you imagine how thrilled David must have been? He probably thought, this is it. This is my calling, my great project for God. He was ready to get started. But then, that same night, the word of the Lord came. And it was a complete plot twist. In 1 Chronicles 22-8, God tells David, "You shall not build a house unto my name." Imagine hearing that. God essentially told David a few things. First, I didn't ask you to build me a house. Second, you won't be the one to build it. Third, you won't even live to see it built. And then came the reason, you have shed much blood. Just picture how that must have felt. David had fought God's battles. He defeated Goliath. He defended Israel from its enemies. He was a warrior for God, and yet God said, "You are not the one." Then, God delivered what might have been the hardest part of the news. Your son, Solomon, will be a man of rest. And he will build the house. Not you, David, your son. At this moment, David had a choice. He could have become bitter. He could have grown resentful, thinking, after everything I've done for you, God, this is how you repay me? He could have walked away. He could have quit on God entirely. And let's be honest, many of us today, if we heard a no that clear on our biggest dream, we might have done just that. We might have thrown in the towel and said, "Fine, if you don't want my help, I'm done." But David's response is what makes this story so powerful. He didn't get angry with God. He didn't blame God for crushing his dream. He didn't quit. Instead, he did 3 incredible things that we can all learn from. First, he praised God. After being told no to the biggest project of his life, David went into the presence of God. And he worshipped. He didn't complain. He adored. He recognized that God's plan was bigger than his own, even if he didn't fully understand it. Second, he prepared abundantly. Even though he knew he wouldn't be the one to build the temple, he didn't sit back and do nothing. He didn't say, well, if it's not my project, I'm not going to help. No, he began gathering materials. He gathered massive amounts of gold, silver, iron, brass, and fine cedar wood. He did everything in his power to set his son, Solomon, up for success. He prepared for a dream he would never see fulfilled. And third, he prayed and trusted God. He stopped fighting for his own plan and started surrendering to God's will. He essentially said, "Lord, do what you promised. Your will be done." He shifted from trying to control the outcome to trusting the one who controlled everything. And it was in this place of surrender that David learned a profound truth. He realized he was not the real builder. Solomon wasn't the real builder either. God was the builder. You see, David came to God and said, "Lord, I want to build you a house." And God responded, in essence, "David, that's a nice thought, but I'm going to build *u* a house." David offered God a temporary building made of stone and wood. In return, God promised David an eternal dynasty, a kingdom that would last forever through his lineage. David was focused on something temporary. God was creating something eternal. God wasn't just looking for a builder. He was looking for a worshiper. Think about it. Anyone can swing a hammer. Anyone can cut wood or shape a stone. But very few people can hear a direct no from God on their most cherished dream and still choose to worship. So let me ask you that question again. When God says no to your plan, to your dream, to the thing you're so passionate about, what will you do? Will you quit? Will you complain and get bitter? Or will you be like David? Will you keep trusting? Will you keep preparing for what God is doing? Will you keep praising, keep giving, keep serving, and keep worshiping, even when you don't understand? So who is building the house? It's not David, it's not Solomon, it's not you, and it's not me. It is God, and whatever God builds, that is what will stand forever. If this message blessed you today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Thanks for watching.